What defines a hero? What is the cost of being the strongest? Two questions that revolve around the series One Punch Man. Two questions with obvious answers within the series, but heavily overlooked by most people that I know in my area. Kamusta? Hello, Avon Sketches here, and today I want to talk about two main things that people in my area, or people that I know generally, don't understand about Saitama and One Punch Man as a whole. Now, before I get into discussing about the people's ignorance, let's get into a bit of context with the background of One Punch Man. So, One Punch Man is an anime slash manga series where we follow the main character Saitama, an individual who's just a hero for fun where he goes around killing monsters with one punch, hence the name of the series, and saving the day. It may seem awesome to one-punch monsters for anyone, but for him, it felt boring and overall unexciting. Now, this is where people that I know in my area misunderstand or misunderstood the series. They all think that this series is just another action and comedy type of series where the main character is so OP and the plot is gonna be very generic. But I think that's where they're wrong. Let's have an example. Let's say you have a favorite sport you love and that you mastered it through countless hours of effort and training with all your heart. You've become the very best. You entered every competition and won all of them. You've become so good that no one can beat you, and that every time you compete, you know you're just gonna win, and you do. What do? Do you still compete even if you know you're going to win? Will you still have that same feeling of determination and enthusiasm similar to what you had when you were still training? Even if you do, are you giving it your very all? Is your heart still in the game? These are important questions for all of us. This is one of the things One Punch Man is trying to teach us and tell us, the value of growth. What do I mean by this? Well, growth is our ability to train and grow both physically and mentally for the purpose to reach a certain goal in mind. It is both the process of struggling and succeeding that drives us to reach our goal. We learn from our mistakes and failures and overcome them. That is growth. How can we tell we've grown if we haven't failed, adapted, and improved? This next part is a bit of a spoiler, so if you haven't watched One Punch Man yet, I suggest you do. In episode 3, we've seen Saitama train and struggle in order to become strong. We've seen him push himself to the absolute limit by doing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every single day. By doing those, Saitama obtained godlike strength, speed, and invulnerability. He enjoyed for a while having godlike power, but as time went on, he became so powerful that no one could give him the excitement that he had anymore. The feeling of struggle in a fight was taken away from him. Unlike Genos, who still struggles and grows to be like his master, Saitama feels like he has no more room for growth, and he does tell it to King in a newer season, in season 2. He did say that. Due to that, he developed a bit of an existential crisis. He questions himself, why does my heart feel so empty? And in exchange for power, maybe I've lost something that's essential for a human being. Another thing that many people overlook is the real heroic value of Saitama. A lot of the people I know fail to see Saitama's true acts of heroism. Many of them see him as a lazy, unenthusiastic, and stoic, overpowered person. They don't really see his qualities for being a hero. A lot of them compare his heroic traits with characters like All Might and Deku from My Hero Academia, where they are ready to sacrifice their lives in order to save others. Now, don't get me wrong, those heroic acts are noble, but it's kind of overrated in a plot writing point of view. A definition of what defines a hero is someone who has moral values and is ready to risk or sacrifice something major, in this case their lives, in order to reach a certain goal or save lives. Now, people don't really see Saitama as having any heroic moral values due to his stoicism, or see him risk his life for others due to his invulnerability, so they disregard his character as a hero. That's what I think they're wrong. In episode 9 of One Punch Man, after Saitama defeated the Deep Sea King, a person from the dome started criticizing and looking down upon the defeated heroes as well as Genos before Saitama took out the Deep Sea King. After hearing those words, criticizing the heroes and the Hero Association itself, what does Saitama do? Did he just brush it off and walk away like usual? No, he laughed and lied about the creature already being weak and made himself look like the bad guy. Why would he do this though? Remember when I said about what defines a hero? Even if Saitama can't give up his own life because of his invulnerability, he gave up his reputation for his fellow heroes. He tarnished his reputation as a hero to save the reputation of the heroes and the Hero Association itself. He made himself look bad to make the others look good. Think about it. Would you sacrifice your reputation for a few people in a world where social status and social connections basically define who you are? Would you tarnish your own image to save a few? Well, Saitama did, because he does not care what people think of him. He did that to himself because he thinks it's the right thing to do, what a hero should do. The extent of their heroic acts and how far they will go. This series is a masterpiece when it comes to storytelling. Nearly all the people here think of it as another action anime. Sure, it has action, but it's not all action. If I were to break down how many percent this anime has in terms of action, comedy, and philosophy, it would be 30% action, 20% comedy, and 50% philosophy. This is just my opinion though. There are still so many things to talk about in terms of philosophy and life lessons in this series, such as depression, indifference, humanity, and so much more. I could go on and talk about it for a while, but I think I'll just stick to these topics for now. Anyways, I hope I made something a bit clear for the people who still think One Punch Man doesn't have a story to tell. And I'll just say this to the pleb people that I know. When watching or reading a series, don't just read or watch, but learn and understand the story. Think about what drives the characters forward and what motivates them. And to you, the viewer, I want to know what your definition of a hero is and your opinions about One Punch Man as a whole.